Hey everybody, just wanted to go over a couple things about fuel lines on Poulan chainsaws. This is my Poulan chainsaw here. As you see, it's a 2375. What happened on this saw is the fuel lines all fell apart on me and I didn't know the routing. So I went on the internet and everybody's chainsaw up there, the carburetor was different. So I have a friend's chainsaw that's not running, and I just want to show real quick. On this chainsaw, you have this fuel line right here. That is the main fuel line that runs underneath the carburetor and into the fuel tank. Okay. Now there is a primer bulb on this saw. Okay. But on this carburetor, the return line is not on the same side as most of them. The return line is on this side of the carburetor. So what happened is when the lines fell apart on that saw and I pulled the carburetor off, all the lines were off, so I didn't know which way they went. So the problem that I ran into is I replaced the fuel line in the saw, and then the primer bulb, you got to be sure you hook the primer bulb upright because there's a check valve in it. I reversed these two lines on the check ball, and when you'd prime the carburetor, it would shoot gas down the throat of the carburetor and stall the saw out. So you got to be sure that when you let me take and get this apart for you, and I'll show you what exactly is going on. Let me set the phone down. Let's pull that off. All right. As you can see in here, I know it's dirty, but this is the other fuel line right here. So that line has to go to the outside of the primer bulb. You really can't see it from here, but the primer bulb has a center and an outside. You have to make sure that your small line going to your carburetor is on the outside of the primer bulb, and then the center line is on your return line that goes back over here into your tank. So I just thought I'd make a quick video to let you all know that this carburetor is different. I'm going to clean this carburetor up and see if I can get the saw running for my friend. But so if you have a carburetor that has the main fuel line going in on this side of the carburetor and the return line on this side of the carburetor, you have to make sure that this line goes to the outside of the primer bulb and that the inside line is your tank return. I hope this helps everybody out, because I saw some other videos where the carburetor had both lines on one side of the carburetor, and it didn't help me any. I was able to figure out by taking this saw apart, and now I have my saw running. Now I have to see if I can get Mark's saw running. All right, see y'all later.